Revolution is brewing in the tangled web of human consciousness. Quantum mechanics, the bizarre realm of subatomic particles, may hold the key to unlocking the greatest mystery of all, our own minds. Imagine a world where your thoughts depend on particles smaller than atoms, where your memories are stored in microscopic structures inside brain cells, and your consciousness itself may be the product of quantum processes. This is not science fiction. This is the frontier where physics meets neuroscience, where the nature of reality meets the essence of thought. Scientists are already exploring the possibility that our brains operate on quantum principles, fundamentally changing everything we've assumed and know about the mind. What if our brain is not just a classic computer made up of biological components, but a quantum machine capable of feats far beyond our current understanding? The implications are staggering, affecting every aspect of human existence from curing neurological disorders to revolutionizing artificial intelligence. How does consciousness emerge from matter? Can quantum effects explain our subjective experience? Are we on the threshold of a new era in neuroscience and technology? To answer these questions, we must journey into the depths of our own minds, exploring a landscape where the boundaries between biology and quantum physics blur. Welcome to the quantum revolution in consciousness. The quest to understand consciousness has preoccupied minds for millennia. Ancient philosophers pondered the nature of the soul, while modern scientists scrutinize brain activity in search of the elusive source of consciousness. Traditional theories of consciousness fall into two main categories: neuroscientific and philosophical. Neuroscientific approaches, in turn, focus on the physical structures and processes of the brain, attempting to identify the neural correlates of consciousness. These theories suggest that consciousness arises from complex interactions between neurons, different brain areas responsible for different aspects of awareness. Global workspace theory, for example, suggests that consciousness arises when information is widely distributed throughout the brain, becoming available to multiple cognitive processes. Philosophical theories, on the other hand, attempt to deal with the subjective nature of experience. The hard problem of consciousness, formulated by philosopher David Chalmers, asks why we have subjective experience at all. Why do we feel conscious rather than just processing information in the dark? And then Sir Roger Penrose, a mathematician and physicist, enters the scene and proposes a radical new approach. Penrose's quantum theory of consciousness suggests that quantum processes in the brain are crucial to the emergence of conscious experience. Penrose argues that classical physics and computation alone cannot explain consciousness. He proposes that quantum effects, particularly quantum gravity, play a role in cognition. According to Penrose, consciousness arises from quantum computations occurring in structures called microtubules within neurons. This is where Stuart Hameroff, an anesthesiologist and consciousness researcher, comes in. Hameroff, in collaboration with Penrose, developed the theory of orchestrated objective reduction, or orchestrated objective reduction, OR for short, which has the microtubules at its center. Microtubules are hollow cylindrical structures composed of proteins called tubulins. They are part of the cell's cytoskeleton and play a crucial role in cellular organization and transport. Hameroff believed that these structures are ideal for quantum computing. According to OR theory, tubulins can exist in quantum superposition states. These quantum states are maintained in microtubules by quantum coherence, allowing for massively parallel computations. When a critical threshold is reached, these quantum states collapse, giving rise to consciousness. In their view, this orchestrated collapse is not random but depends on fundamental properties of the geometry of spacetime at the quantum scale. Each collapse represents a moment. The Penrose-Hameroff theory suggests that the brain operates not just as a classical neural network but as a hybrid quantum classical system. This could potentially explain phenomena that classical theory struggles with, such as the nature of free will and the binding problem, which is the understanding of how disparate sensory information is combined into a coherent experience. However, the theory remains highly controversial. Many researchers argue that the brain is too warm, wet, and noisy for subtle quantum effects to persist long enough to affect cognition. Critics also point to the lack of direct experimental evidence for quantum processes in neural functions. Despite these problems, the hypothesis of quantum consciousness has inspired new lines of research. Scientists are now investigating quantum effects in biological systems, from photosynthesis to bird navigation. This research may shed light on whether quantum phenomena actually play a role in information processing in the brain. In the quest to understand consciousness using quantum mechanics, experimental verification is crucial. One pioneering study was conducted deep beneath the Gran Sasso Mountains in Italy, where scientists sought evidence to support a gravity-related model of quantum collapse, a key component of Oort-Oor's theory of consciousness. Catalina Curcianu, a leading physicist at INFN Frascati and a member of the Foundational Questions Institute, led this research. Gran Sasso National Laboratory, located 1,500 yards beneath the Italian mountains, provides a unique environment nearly free of cosmic radiation, ideal for sensitive experiments. The experiment used an extremely sensitive germanium detector surrounded by layers of ultra-pure lead and copper to shield against background radiation. The goal was to detect the spontaneous emission of radiation predicted by the Diosy-Penrose theory, which suggests that the quantum collapse of the wave function is related to gravity and occurs faster in systems with higher mass. After experimenting for 2 months, the team did not observe the predicted spontaneous emission signals. This negative result, published in Nature Physics in 2020, ruled out the simplest version of the Diosy-Penrose model. 2 years later, in Physics of Life, the team reanalyzed the implications of their findings for Oort-Oor theory. Despite their efforts, they concluded that most of the scenarios proposed by Penrose and Hameroff are not feasible under the existing experimental constraints. This is the first experimental study of gravity-related quantum collapse in the Oort-Oor model of consciousness, which we hope will be followed by many others, Curcianu stated. She emphasized that although this experiment rules out some models, the original Penrose collapse model, which does not predict spontaneous emission, remains untested and therefore still plausible. The team is now refining their collapse models and preparing for further testing, keeping the door open for the theory. Curcianu expresses optimism. It is really exciting to connect what you can do in the laboratory to perhaps the biggest mystery in the universe, consciousness. However, the field of quantum biology continues to discover surprising connections between the microscopic world of quantum mechanics and the macroscopic world of biological systems. Recent research has shed light on a very intriguing phenomenon, ultraviolet superradiation in tryptophan networks. It sounds rather complicated and mysterious, but let's put it all into a nutshell. So what is the study of ultraviolet superradiation from tryptophan meganetworks? Tryptophan, an aromatic amino acid, is ubiquitous in biological systems and plays a critical role in protein structure and function. A study by Babcock, published in the Journal of Physical Chemistry B, shows us exactly how tryptophan networks in different biological architectures can exhibit collective quantum optical effects. The researchers analyzed tryptophan networks in several biological structures, including microtubules, centrioles, and neuronal axons. These structures contain huge numbers of tryptophan residues forming so-called meganetworks. Using advanced computational models, they predicted the occurrence of superradiant states in these networks. Superradiation is a quantum optical phenomenon where multiple emitters act together, resulting in an increased emission rate. In the context of our tryptophan networks, this means that the fluorescent properties of these structures can be dramatically different from what we expect based on the behavior of individual tryptophans. One of the most striking results of the study was the confirmation of the predicted increase in fluorescent quantum yield in large tryptophan networks. According to their calculations, the quantum yield, which reflects the efficiency of the fluorescence process, should increase significantly as the network size increases from individual tryptophan molecules to complex structures such as microtubules and centrioles. This increase in quantum yield suggests that tryptophan networks in biological structures are not just passive elements, but may play an active role in light absorption, energy transfer, and possibly even information processing in cells. The study focused on ultraviolet excitation, which is particularly relevant to the presence of weak ultraviolet radiation in living systems, often associated with metabolic processes. The researchers hypothesized that superemitting states in tryptophan networks may contribute to the absorption and transmission of ultraviolet photoexcitations in the oxidative cellular environment. Of particular interest are the results related to microtubule bundles in neuron axons. The models created by the researchers suggest these structures can exhibit exceptionally strong super-emitting effects, potentially propagating over long distances. This opens up intriguing possibilities for fast information transfer in neural networks. Another important aspect of the study is the concept of cooperative robustness. The researchers found that larger tryptophan networks were more resistant to the effects of disorder, which is ubiquitous in biological systems. This suggests that quantum effects in such networks may persist even under physiological conditions. If these quantum phenomena can indeed work in the warm, humid, and noisy environment of living cells, this opens up a new dimension in our understanding of biological processes. It means that our brains can utilize quantum mechanics not only under extraordinary conditions, but also as a fundamental part of their everyday functioning. Such robustness under physiological conditions could revolutionize our understanding of information processing, memory storage, and even consciousness itself, potentially leading to breakthroughs in both neuroscience and quantum biology. Understanding quantum consciousness opens up exciting possibilities for the treatment and diagnosis of neurological diseases such as Alzheimer's disease and dementia. This is important because many chemical reactions, including protein folding, depend on heat. Improper protein folding is a hallmark of neurodegenerative diseases, and understanding the conditions that lead to improper protein folding could pave the way for new treatments in diseases such as Alzheimer's. The body's mechanism for clearing misfolded proteins often fails, leading to a buildup of harmful plaques in the brain. By using quantum sensors to study the heat shock response process by which the body manages the misfolded proteins, researchers hope to develop strategies that would enhance this response, potentially preventing or reversing protein misfolding and plaque formation. Mao's work is part of a broader effort by the National Science Foundation's Quantum Leap Challenge Institute for Quantum Sensing for Biophysics and Bioengineering. The interdisciplinary initiative aims to apply quantum technologies in biophysics and molecular biology with the ultimate goal of developing new tools for diagnosing and treating various diseases. Quantum sensors can make measurements not available with current technology, enabling early detection of diseases before they manifest clinically. This could lead to revolutionary screening processes for neurodegenerative diseases, enabling earlier intervention and improved patient outcomes. The integration of quantum mechanics into medical diagnostics promises to detect diseases at the earliest stages, potentially changing the landscape of preventative medicine. Parallel research into the quantum nature of consciousness is shedding light on how our minds work. When Theia collided with Earth, it shaped the planet's current size and form, crucially forming our satellite, the Moon, initially much closer at 13.6 thousand miles. Over time, as Earth cooled, its temperature decreased, causing its crust to thicken from accumulated matter attracted by gravity during formation. Following the cooling process, only the molten iron core remained hot and liquid, generating Earth's magnetic field, crucial for its stable rotation around its axis and orbiting the Sun. Approximately 3.8 billion years ago, Earth experienced its first rainfall and meteor showers, containing valuable water that contributed to the formation of the planet's first oceans amidst its swift 6-hour days. These meteor showers lasted for 20 million years, gradually enriching Earth's water content. Scientists debated water's origin, whether from meteorites or already present on Earth, until lunar studies showed the young, active Sun evaporated volatile elements, complicating a definitive answer. The collision of Earth and Theia initiated the planetary cooling process and the subsequent formation of Earth's protective atmosphere, shielding it from solar radiation and fostering conditions conducive to life.